And when I talked to Apostle Tina one, she just called me and said, well, I'm bringing my book conference to Georgia. Cool, I got you. Let me go and get this together. Then she was like, well, I need you to be one of the speakers. Anybody know me? I'm looking crazy at that point. I said, okay, got you. So she didn't give me my topic till about March. She said, tell me what is something that you are overcoming or you're experiencing right now. And I told her, it's the pressure of people. People and their opinions, people in the box they put you in. And they not understand the value that you can give. Right?
That's good.
So, in order for me to be in the place I am now, it took me coming outside. I promise you, I'm going to try not to cry because I'm a crybaby.
That's okay.
In order for me to be and stand where I am now, it took me coming from outside the box that everybody tried to put me in. And so, I'm a storyteller, so hey, let's do this. I was 6th grade, was the first year I began to be bullied at school. And understand, I'm currently in school for psychology. I'm getting an MS in psychology, so I psychologically think about things. So, starting when I was in 6th grade, I was being bullied by a group of girls. I did not understand the impact now versus the impact then about it now. Because of me being bullied, I became a people pleaser. Because I felt as though if I was doing everything they wanted me to do, they wouldn't bully me. I would be in the in crowd. I wanted to be accepted. Move along. When I got pregnant with my first son, I had a teacher tell me, she said, there's no way you're able to come back to school. You're going to have to quit school, get a job. And I don't see it happening. Because she doubted me then, it gave me purpose to prove her wrong. Right. I was determined to prove her wrong, but I didn't understand. Sometimes that can be a good thing, sometimes it can consume you. Well, I made it my business to prove her wrong. And even when I got to a place to prove her wrong with a degree in college, she was no longer living. But my goal was to prove her wrong, for me to be able to go back and tell her I did it. Something you say I would never do, I did it. When I returned to school and I walked in her class, she looked shocked like I was a ghost. And I'm like, yeah, I told you I was coming back. One, in my household, it's no failure. You cannot quit school. That was never an option. So, okay, moving along. Me trying to prove people wrong, me being a people pleaser. And then I got to a place where I allowed people to tell me what they thought I should have in my life. What I should accept, what I should do, where I should be and where I should go. It got so loud to where I wasn't hearing God for myself. I was hearing people. Not understanding, because I sat in the box that they decided to put me in, I couldn't be all that God was calling me to. So, that leads to my scripture. Because when he snatched me up and told me about myself, he can be a little rude sometimes. But, he gave me the scripture, Galatians 1 and 10. Am I not trying to win the approval of human beings or God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. Then and there only did I actually realize I can't call myself a Christian, I can't call myself a servant when I'm out here worshiping people and not listening to God. It was more that he had for me, but until I realized that I had to come from under all the titles everybody else wanted to give me and realize what he was calling me to. Then and only then I could go further. So, one thing I learned in that scripture is that Paul was talking to the Galatians church, and he was telling them pretty much, I didn't come here to flatter you. I didn't come here to get approval about you. I came about my Father's business. That's it. I came to get his approval for what he told me to go and do. So, if anybody knows me in these last couple of months, I have become a little harsh, and I have been very open with, I'm going to only do what my Father has called me to do.
That's good.
If you don't like it, you don't like the way I do it, I love you, but I'm going to continue to do what I am. I'm in a season where I'm going to do it by myself if I have to, because I hear God.
Yes, that's good.
So, Paul speaks as an example to the church that he is not trying to please any man. He serves and lives for the approval of God. He reminds the Galatians that his call to be an apostle came directly from God.
That's good.
Okay, remember that. He was not prompted
Yeah.
by ambition or flattery. He wasn't coming to accommodate them. He was coming about his father's business. When we fall into the pain of pressure, the pain of people and their opinions, it's only because we're seeking approval for that person or those particular people.
That's
So
good.
what is our assignment? Are we doing what God has called us to do, or are we doing what people think we should be doing?
That's good.
Because a lot of times we'll stay stuck. So recently, I was at the elementary school for 4 years when we first moved to Georgia. Anybody know my story? I did not plan to come to Georgia, come to Atlanta. So I told my mom the devil is alive, I'm not coming up there. In the middle of COVID, God sent several people along with myself saying, hell, you finna go. You need to go on about your business. It's time to move. It was the hardest thing. I was comfortable with the job I had. I was comfortable with where I was, marriage, children, everything was perfect. But I needed to move because my time there was done. Yes. I was not growing anymore and I was missing something. I kept missing the movement of God. Yes. So when I finally moved, I got here and I started off at the hospital, and once I left the hospital, I knew I got tired of the hospital because it was just stressful. And I was dealing with health issues, and I just knew that wasn't it. That wasn't God. I was going for the money because that's where I left. Well, I came into the school system. I stayed there for 40 years. And in my 40 years of being in that school system, I was all that I could be. But the more and more I was there, God was growing me outside of the school system. Events, book writing. I came here with a hair business that never grew. It was just enough, but it never grew. I even came up here to come to cosmetology school, y'all. And I gave them a good hot, probably 3 months, about 6 months. No, one. I think it was longer. I was in there longer than that, y'all. But I gave them a good little minute. I did my best, but I was like, this is not it. And so, the end of December 2022, God said, I'm closing your hair business. Mind you, that was my extra income because being a paraprofessional in the school system was not much. That was my blanket to shop because I do have a shopping problem. So he said, okay, I'm closing that. Now it's time for you to come into the consultant. Consulting who? Because if you know me, I stop doing people's hair to do wigs because I like talking to the mannequins more than the people. Because they become difficult. So you telling me you're making me leave mannequins to come talk to humans, and then you want me to tell them what to do with something that you gave them? Make it make sense, Jesus. But I did that. In that year, 2023, I was like, I felt buried. I felt buried because I felt like I wasn't doing anything but doing the groundwork of everything that was escalating to where it's at now. But all of it was done by me listening to God. If I would have kept that business, which I told friends, I was like, hey, God told me I need to close my hair business. And, I'm going to do what he said because I know he has better for my life. I said, but I'm going to go into this. They said, no. I think you should keep your business, just don't do it as much, but you should keep it. And then you do that as well. Then you have some of them tell me like, no, I don't think consulting Isha, that's not for you. If I would have listened to them, I would not be where I'm at now. Because I listened to God, I was able to leave a job, be accessible to my parents or my grandmother, and not only that, be able to be accessible more for my children, more for my husband. Things have thrived all because I was listening to God.
Yes.
So, the overall, because I can go on, and I always get away from this. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm learning to just talk. But in all of this, God's plan for our life. It's not for us to be worried about what everybody, I do want to say this scripture. It's not to be worried about what people think of you. He says it in Proverbs 29 and 25. It is dangerous to be concerned with what others think of you. But if you trust the Lord, you're safe. That's it. That's
good.
If you come outside of everybody and the opinions and the pressures they try to put you in, you become more of what he calls you to do because you're trusting him and only him. Yes. Another thing is, God, right, I'm closing. He broke this down to me. As I was studying, he reminded me of a pressure cooker. Y'all ain't never cooked me one a day in my life. So, I don't know very little. I had to research this, but he brought it to my attention. He said a pressure cooker. There's 3 good things about a pressure cooker. So I'm going to go in order. The first one, it causes what is in it to cook quicker than a normal time because of the pressure. Let me go spiritual for y'all. Because you're under pressure, it's causing you to be transformed quicker than you think. The scripture says that the first shall be last,
Yes.
the last shall be
That's
what?
it. First. Yes.
That's it. So, in other words, stay under pressure. So when your time is ready, you're blossoming into all that he wants you to be.
That's good.
I promise I'm getting quick because I feel my tears. It helps retain nutrients and flavor.
Okay.
They say it's the best way to cook meat is by doing it in a pressure cooker. In other words, the pressure you endure preserves the essence of your meat.
Oh, that's good.
It gives you substance. And I'm all about substance because substance means you done went through something. It will strengthen you to where you are right now. And you can handle the fight that comes with it. Because of new territory, new things happen. Last but not least, and I don't even know why, I thought this was nice. Maybe because my children don't believe in cooking and cleaning at the same time. But with a pressure cooker, it's easy to clean up. And I said, okay, God. It says, you see how you have cocoons, butterflies, the worms go into cocoons to become butterflies. He said, you see how they transform over time. Okay, good. Well, now this time, this pressure allows him to clean you up while you're under pressure.
That's good.
So when you learn to come forward, you're clear. You have better understanding. You have better clarity. And all of that, let's just make this in this. If Mary would have went under, Mary was under pressure. If she would allow other people to say, she would have never birthed the son of Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Samuel, his father wanted to leave him in the field, but if he would have stayed in the field and never walked into what God was calling you for, who would he have been?
Yes.
Oh no. That old storm. That storm came. Noah heard God, and God said, build the boat. All I'm saying is we got several examples in the Bible. It's all of us to read it. But my greatest thing was if you study the ministry of Jesus and everything that he went through. He was radical. I don't care what nobody says. He's still a devil walk. Because he went in people's territory. So in other words, what that tells you? We got somewhere to go. We got some things to do. And we're going to do it under pressure.